Welcome to this look at some cool new mods on Farming Simulator 25 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Wednesday the 6th of August. We've got some new mods, we've got some updates. The Country Dairy by Alexander Tarasenko and Barney said an update. The map New Hope by David Merriman says new save game is not required, but if you want all things to happen and be usable, it is recommended. The Romeco Vibrostar U445 by JMZ. The Actisol Actimixed by Agri Poly Concept. We have got the Agromash SN301 pack by JMZ, Wooden Garages and Workshop by Agrogati, Placeable Signs by Ladaran, Pig Farm Building Package by Razak, Dairy Production by Omatana, and the Planet Bunker Silo Pack by Hispano have all had updates. I'm going to start with this in front of me. This is the Modern Shed, 8.02 megabytes download, 8 slots. 125,000 to buy, 200 bales it can store as well, with some customization options on the R3. This by ModdingAssociation Katsuo. So you'll find this building under build mode and sheds, and it is that one just there for 125 grand. Customization options on this. We start off with wooden facade and red roof without solar, then with solar. Then it goes grey roof without solar, with solar. Then we go to red roof, metal facade on the sides. You can see that's changed from wood to metal. Without solar, with solar. And then grey roof without solar, with metal sides. And if you've gone for a metal side, then you've got the option to change the colour of the siding. You can't change the colour of the siding if you've got it on the wood setting. So that's something to be aware of. We come over to here, we get our putting in done here. And like I said, it's bales only. I did try as well with, it does say in the description bales. 200, but I thought I'd try a pallet, you never know, and it is bales only. And then taking out is done just here. Open our storage, boom, out they come, good to go. So that's the side bit here. If we come round, so that's the bale and or the bale storage, and the shed itself is in here. Then we've got a light switch here. That does the light switch on the outside where the bales are. Then we've got a light switch over here which does the shed lights in here. So a bit of a sort of kind of a squashed L shape really, with the doors open here as well. That's that one on the end. Nice made and detailed. Not a bad looking shed at all. That's the modern shed. Next couple I'm going to show you in here. Also under sheds we've got the metal shed just there. Swing that around, zoom in a little bit. That's what it looks like. The metal shed is 4.26 megabytes download, 5 slots, 9,000 to buy. It's by Weksi. And no customization options, it comes just as it is for 9 grand. Come out of there and we go to decorative items, others, and right down the bottom there for 12,500 we've got the old church, 7.06 megabytes download, 8 slots, 12,500 as it says there. This is by Cookson. This is a decorative item. I did place one earlier while I was doing my prep and walked up to it because I didn't know if it had organ music or any sound effects or anything like that. There wasn't anything that I found. Whether it does bells on the hour or anything like that, I'm not sure. But it didn't have any other sound effects. And there were no customization options. It is just a placeable church. I say just a placeable church. It is a placeable church. With nice stained glass windows as well. Right, now we're going to head up to the field. And up here we're going to start off with these. This is the British and Canadian Potato, very posh, the British and Canadian potato / corn chip processing plant by MrDexxx. 12.22 megabytes download. Now these are 14 slots, 360 grand, 11 slots, 360 grand, 5 slots each and 10 grand for the small ones. This is Canadian production, this is British production, and then we've got British production shed, well right here, and Canadian production shed. Now I only set one of these running. The difference between the two, the large productions and the smaller productions, these are 10 times smaller with the recipes and storage capacities than the larger ones. But what's interesting is there's a difference between the Canadian and the American one as well, which I think is a little bit naughty, isn't it? Family Farms potato chip processing plant. So let's go into build mode. Factories, I mean I've already said what they are, but this is where you'll find them. So there we go, there's our Canadian, there's our British, and then that's British and that's Canadian. There's no colour choice options on these when they come to being placed. Now if we come over to here, for example, and we click on this one, So this is the Great British Crisp production. This is the larger factory, and as you'll see, 10,000, 10,000, 200,000, 10, 10, 10. You know, that's the capacity in, and outcoming is 50,000 litres of each. But what's curious is, not curious, we can do cheese and onion crisps in the UK, not potato chips, and tortilla chips. So these are crisps and tortillas on these. So we got cheese and onion, ready salted, spicy, tomato ketchup and tomato salsa, or salsa, however you want to say it. Incoming cheese, chili peppers, corn, garlic, oil, potatoes, spring onions and tomatoes. But here, if you look at the recipes are the same on the larger ones, but it's the cycles per month. On the British one, they're 240 cycles per month. On the Canadian one, they're 480. So the Canadian one actually runs faster than the British one. If I whiz up to the Canadian one up the top there, you'll see capacity is all exactly the same, but the recipes are cheese and onion corn chips and cheese and onion potato chips. So not tortillas and crisps, but the recipes, the actual items are the same. And if we come down here, you'll see cycles per month 480, not 240. But the recipes themselves are the same. If we come down to the smaller one, you'll see the recipes the same, the capacities are 10 times smaller, and the recipes are 10 times smaller. Well, actually, that one's not. That's a lot smaller. That's like there are only 24 cycles a month on the smaller ones. Recipes the same, cycles a lot less, and the British one I think is the same as the Canadian one. If we come across there, 24 cycles per month on each one. Yeah, they are. So I'm wondering whether or not maybe there was a typo with the Canadian one. The fact the two small ones seem to follow the same line as this one. Yeah, that's 240 cycles per month, that's 480. But anyway, that being said, we've got some of the pallets already out, just so you can get a look at the pallets. These have got Canadian boxes on. Our British ones aren't ready to go yet because they're taking a little bit longer to process, being that it runs slower. I'm assuming that's going to have the Union Jack box on the outside, but I like the fact these aren't just a generic box. Cheese and onion, tomato, salted potato chips and spicy potato chips, and I'm assuming when we get the other boxes out here we're going to have tortilla chips and crisps on the boxes instead, which is pretty cool. So there we go, some new processes for, well, not just potatoes, a ton of other stuff as well. That's the British and Canadian potato corn chip processing plant. Next we'll move over to here. Now these are three separate mods, but they're the same building. They're by the same person. Fra-Cassés modding. We have got the wooden shed, 9.28 megabytes downloads, 10 slots, 35,000 to buy. Bulk vegetable storage, which is 18.47 megabytes download, 15 slots, 450,000 litres. There are two of these that cost 30 grand each, and you can see this one holds different stuff to the other one. The second one, this will do peas, red beet, green beans and spinach, and it will do 450,000 litres of each. I double checked that. That's got 450,000 litres in there. I only put 250 in that. That's got 450 in, so it's not 450 combined, it is for each product, which is quite handy. And then this one here is the hay dryer, which is 14.21 megabytes download, 17 slots, and is, how much was this one? 30,000 to buy. Nice and made and detailed. Taking out is done here, so it's grass in on this and then hay out. So as you can see, grass there, it gets done there, and then hay out, and we've got light switch just over here. There we go, lighting, putting in over here, and our managed production, because it is technically a production, is just there. And there you go. It's a 1,000 to 900. You lose a little bit, not a huge amount, but that size of recipe means it runs quite fast, even though the cycles are only 120. So overnight, because I have let this run overnight, we've got 81,000 litres of hay from the initial 250,000 litres. I don't know if actually if I put a full 250,000 in. Anyway, that being said, if we come to sheds, that's where you find the first one. So that's there, 35 grand. The shelter with back wall. No customization options, they come as they are. If we come to our silos, and you'll see here, so that one there is potato, sugar beet, carrots and parsnip. And if I go like that and spin that round, you'll see all those items are on the front, the same as the other one was. So that one does those items, and the one I placed is this one that does peas, beetroot, spinach and green beans. And if we come from there and we go to our factories, that's where you'll find the dryer, because it's technically, well, not technically, it is a factory. There you go, 30 grand for our hay dryer. And as I said, all of those by Fra-Cassés modding. Next we have got the Woodchip processing factory. A lot of factories today, by FFMT StormNL. Mouthful. This is 4.03 megabytes download, 10 slots, 125,000 to buy. You'll find this also under the factories section, and it's right down at the bottom there. 125 grand. This takes wood chips, and it doesn't just do, because this factory usually does carton roll and paper roll. This is a sawmill kind of that takes wood chips, not wood, and it will produce, I suppose it's like a pulp type thing. Taking out done there, which is interesting. So actually I tipped over here to put the stuff in, so the wood chip in. Maybe it'll let you tip on the outside as well. But then our processes just here: boards, carton roll, paper roll, planks, and wood beam. So that's our short planks, that's our longer planks, and this one's the cycles a month, 24 on each. And then the recipes are all there. As you can see, overnight, the only thing I've got out so far, was it a boards or a planks I've got? I think it might be a boards. I mean, it's a short plank, so if I refer to it, there you go. Planks. But the others will all come out. It just takes a little bit of time. So yeah, wood chip in, 900,000 litres, and then those processes out. Not bad at all. Next, another production. We've got this. We're in a bit of a pickle. This is the pickle production. This is by CapAro. 6.74 megabytes download, 13 slots, 50,000 to buy. If we go into here again and we go, this was up, wasn't it? Pickle production is just there, 50 grand. No customization options on the building for colour or anything like that. Putting into the facility is done here. As you can see, we've got pallets out: pickled lettuce, pickled chilli, pickled tomato, and pickled olive. And our production is run from around the side here. Click on that. So we go: chili peppers, lettuce, olives and tomatoes in 7,200 cycles a month, 1-to-1 on the recipe, but because the cycles are quite high, it runs at a fair speed. It doesn't go too badly at all. Now, as far as all these productions go with regard to prices, crisps here, let's say for example that corn chips, onion crisps, potato chips, tortilla chips, they're all paying mid 3,000s, 3.4s, 3.5s, so that's not bad at all. If we come down to, where's our pickled, we want P, there we go, pickled, 1126 for the lettuce, 12 for the olives, and the tomatoes 13, so that's when you get it if you pickle those. And then what else have we got? Ready salted chips, 23, 24, 25, so they're a little bit less. Then we should have the spicy salted, there we go, salted corn chips, salted potato chips, just there. And then we got the spicy corn chips, spicy crisps, spicy potato chips, and spicy tortillas. Again, they're all in the mid 3.4s, 3.5s price wise, so not too bad at all. If I remember, and I'm not saying I will, I did the end of the last mod review, but that was more by luck than judgment. I'll speed up time because I'm curious to see. I'm assuming the pallets will come out with the Union flag on rather than the Canadian flag, because considering it's the British one, but we will see. So there we go, that's the pickled production. Next we can go wands akimbo. Looks familiar but not quite. This is very cool. This is the dual wheeled washer by Mantrid, 0.89 megabytes download, 2 slots, 4,400 to purchase. If we go into here and we come down to was it under miscellaneous there? It is, there we go. The Karcher dual wheeled, 4,400. Options on this: we can have lighting, yes or no, which adds lighting on, which is pretty cool, which puts a work light on it. And then we got lighting, then we've got work light, yes or no, which puts a work light on the front, very cool. 3-point yes or no, so you don't have to push it around. You can actually attach it to a tractor, take it to where you want to go, drop it off. That's a very cool feature. Beacon style, I think we've got 16 beacons. We start off with beacon 1 there, and then 16. I'm not going to go through all of them, but there are a few different beacon choices to go from. Well, 16 of them to be precise. Main colour, anything on that palette does that. Design colour does that, and you can fiddle around with those to your heart's content and have fun. Now, this will spray faster, it will clean faster, spray faster, it will clean faster. It says cleans at least twice as fast, improved movement speed, improved steering, and extended range. So if we do this and start this up, there's our light, which is pretty cool. There you go, look, it's 9 miles an hour anyway. rather than the slightly slower speed of the standard ones, which is pretty cool, which makes it a bit more menacing. Let's do that. Turn lights on, do that. Then we click our wands. Wands akimbo, dual wielding. So then when we start spraying, that will clean stuff twice as fast, at least twice as fast, it says. I wonder what the range is. That's how far we can go before it gives me a warning. Oh, that's not bad, is it? That's pretty cool. So there we go. And then the added benefit, if you've gone for it as an option, oh, well, I don't want to turn the engine off on that, is like I say, if you don't want to push it around, or you've got a long way to go on the map, I mean, you can put it onto a trailer, of course you can, but if you don't want to put it on a trailer, with the 3-point link attachment, boom, off you go. I wonder, actually, I'm curious, if you were a multiplayer, if you do that and then someone drives off, would you still be attached on the back being dragged along? You probably would, wouldn't you? Which would be absolutely crazy. What I'm curious as well is, yeah, you can still do it. So if you want to drive it around to where you're going, leave it attached onto the back of there and then do your spraying, you absolutely can. That's very, very cool. There you go. That's the dual wheeled washer by Mantrid. Next we're going to go into here. We have got along here, under weights, we've got the New Holland Weight 3.95 megabytes download by azbunker CR82, 3.95 megabytes download and 2 slots. Options on this: 430 kilo, 790 kilo, 1150 kilo, and then back to 430. No colour options, they come just like that. The New Holland Weight. Next, we've got this/these, which is pretty cool as well. This is the Fliegl DKS22 by MW Misha 3615, 4.65 megabytes download and 4 slots. This you'll find under your miscellaneous section. There it is, the DKS22, 4,100, and this is pretty cool because first of all, again, you look in the Modhub and you go, oh, it's just another one of those front boxes. No, not exactly. You can have platform trailer like that, capacity 2,200, capacity 3,100, capacity 2,000, so you can have a liquids tank if you want a liquids tank, forestry, which puts those little sort of, I suppose, little forks you can rest the logs against, which has tension straps as well, and then back to platform trailer. So that's a bit of a, especially having that option as well. I don't think I've encountered that before, but that's pretty cool. Main colour, oh, should have picked a different colour, there we go. Does the bottom section. Design colour does that section, and the other design colour does the top section, depending on how many sections you have gone for. So let's do that, raise it up. Now we do have the option tip side right, tip side left, tip side grain door, which does that, tip side back, which does the normal tip. So if we go tip side right, actually let's go tip side left because it's right biased. Look, no, it's not, other way. I was right the first time. Tip side right. That's pretty cool, really handy bit of kit. But what you can also do is you can unmount tailgate, which does that. I don't know, I don't think we got an option for manual unloading. No, but you can take that off. Now if that's empty, that didn't give me an option for tension straps. Only if you've got it in one of the platform modes or the forestry mode will it give you the tension strap option. So I can mount the tailgate back on there. You could just rest stuff in there if you wanted to, I guess. And then if we go to the back, we've got the tank on that. We've got buffalo milk in that, 2,000 litres, but that takes all the liquids. I like the little tap on there as well, look, little tap. Nice feature. And then we can open the cover on this as well, which unscrews the lid, takes it off if you want to do that. Versatile bit of kit. Like it. The Fliegl DKS 22. Next we're going to go into here, and I found this under, I went to baling stuff and went to transport, but I actually found it under miscellaneous. There we go. The rear bale fork. This is, or the lizard back bale fork, as it says in the description. 2.76 megabytes download by E.T.A La Marchoise. 2 slots. Options on this: we've got attach a standard or with a trailer hitch. So if you've got this on, you can trailer hitch things. Main colour does that. There you go. Rear mounted lizard back bale fork. Next we're going to go to, actually I did get one of these out. It's over here. So this is the Lizard the Lizard Semichisels pack. This is one of the Chisels pack. 32.22 megabytes download, 3s and 4s on the slot count by Alexsi Modding and StarterModding. These you'll find under cultivators. So there we go. We start there. 2.2 meter, 2.5, 2.7, 3 meter, 3.5. Options are very similar. A lot of them have this option. So you've got 2-row or a 3-row. And then you can change the ploughshare colour, which is the bit on the front. Let's go yellow so you can see it, so it stands out, so you can change that. So that one has that option. That one has it as well, 2 or 3-row. That one only has the 2-row. That one has 3 rows set, not a 2-row. That one has a 2 or 3, and then that one also has a 2 or 3-row option. I went for that one, 120 horsepower for the 3.5 meter. Again, I was just curious to see what this is going to give us as a texture. There we go. So that would be bringing up stones. Let me just whiz over here very quickly. I don't get stones out of this field. I've said that on mod reviews before. We should get stones out of this one. That's not a shallow cultivator. There we go. I was going to say that should be bringing up stones. There you go. That is that. The I've lost it on my list. The Lizard Semichisels pack, or Semi-Chisels pack, it depends how you say it and where you are from. Let's detach that. Next we've got the Schouten VT130 and SP6834 by Hispano, 17.36 megabytes download, 4 slots and 6 slots, 6.8 meters, which make more sense in just a moment. So here's our 2 items just here. You'll find these under slurry equipment. So if we go to there, there's our tanker, the Schouten VT130, 150 horsepower required to run it, 13,000 litre, which is realistic or unrealistic at 200,000 litres. Digestate or slurry, it will hold. Main colour, at the moment it's on galvanised, but we can pick any colour we want for that. Design colour does all that stuff that's just turned green. And then rim colour is our rim colour option. If we come out of there and we go across to slurry tools, that's where you find the Spider SP6834, 10 grand, 40 horsepower required for that, 6.8 meters. As I said, we've got main colour and we've got design colour on that. We can change as well. So that does your main colour, and that does, again, that's on galvanised at the moment, but you can change all that if you wish. This is not it's not showing as a cultivator, it's just a slurry distributor, as far as I recall, but what I wanted to do was get this out, one because I want to double check whether it was a cultivator or not, but also if we go back to the front section, L1, right stick up and down does that, side to side does that. So if you want to go a bit more immersive with collecting from slurry basins, slurry tanks, whatever it might be, you can put that in and then you can load up if you want to. Come on, why are we doing this? There we go. And switch to the back, unfold that. Beacons. Let's see if we can do it over this bit, can't we? Switch it on, drop it down, and there we go. So like I say, it's not a cultivator, but it is putting down our slurry, a slurry applicator. The Schouten VT130 and SP6834. Next, we've got just over here, whoa, blimey, just over here we have got this. This is the Liquid Structure by htModding, 1.3 megabytes download and 4 slots. This comes in as part of the changing systems, so just there, Anaburger, milk tank it says, liquid structure, but it will do buffalo milk, it will do normal milk, water, liquid fertilizer and herbicide. Options on this: 25,000 litre, 50,000 litre or 100,000 litre capacity. Design colour does the framework at the bottom. And then design colour on there, at the moment it's on chromed. There is a silver, which is more of a sort of galvanised stainless steel really. And then you can pick a colour on there. And you are going to need the Anaburger HTS, the bottom section that comes base game, because that's what it actually hooks onto. We back up to it. There we go. There's no cover or anything that opens on it. I'll just check something. That was the sunroof on the tractor. Oh no, it wasn't. No, we've got some adjustment there on the angle of the trailer to get it level. L1 R1 is the sunroof on the tractor. So there we go. Straightforward and useful. The liquid structure. Next we've got the lizard gooseneck haymaker. Not haymaker. Haymaster. Sorry, handwriting. 5.87 megabytes download, 3 slots by AgroSketch. This is very cool. So this you'll find under Bale transport. Just there. Options on this. Autoload function, yes or no. You don't have to have it, but you can if you want. Chassis colour does all of that, and then rim colour does your rims. Straightforward. Now this is a gooseneck attacher, so you are going to need a vehicle with gooseneck. There's not an option for a standard trailer hitch, whatever's considered standard. This will hold 20 bales, 125s or 150s round. It won't do the bigger bales and it won't do square bales. It's designed for round bales. That is its purpose in life. So as you can see, gooseneck hitch. We jump in here and start the engine. Now we have some options here. So at the moment we've got unloading assistant on, and we've got operating position. We've got toggle work mode easy or pro. I'm going to leave it on easy to start off with. We have got tension straps. So if I've got it on easy, when we come over to here, and if I've got it on auto load, and I press my auto load, so operating position, it auto loads them on, no problem at all. But for unloading, it will only unload them onto the trailer. So if I unload bales and unload them here, they are now a physical thing, and I can tension strap them on, and we are good to go. They need to be a physical thing, because when you unload them, it does this, unload here. That's how it unloads the bales. Now if you haven't unloaded them onto the trailer, stop unloading, that will do that, and the bales will stay where they are because they're not unloaded onto the trailer. So that's something you need to be aware of. Now control group attaches, control group bale trailer. Hang on a minute, this makes no sense. I did not get that option a minute ago when I prepped all this. I did not. Right, well, let me just show you something now then. Anyway, if we go back to that, so if we now go to work mode pro, if I come up alongside here now, watch this work now, and I stop unloading, now do operating position, you notice they don't auto load on. So the pro option is kind of, I've done baling like this a lot with auto load balers, so it is on auto load, but you still need to, I've got these liftable, but you still need to bring your bales over, pick them up, but when you put them on, it will then take them off you. So you've got to semi-load them on the pro version. It doesn't give you the auto load. You've still got to pick them up with something, but then it will take them off you. Come on. There we go. So that's the difference between the easy and the pro version. Now, what I'm going to try and do now, come on. There we go. I'm just going to back up a second, because what's got me curious now is bale trailer, unload bales. That I didn't have that option. So there's me saying you can't do it any other way. You can still do it this way if you want to. So you can pick and choose where you put your bales. R1, up, down, twist and shout, shake it all about. Well, that's just, I mean, come on. That looks so bizarre. L1, R1, then we do that as well. So we've got this option here, that option there. So we have. Well, I'll be. Why in the world? Unload here, bomb. Actually, I prefer the other version. The other option. So if we do stop unloading, and we go back to that, and we go toggle work mode easy, back to that, operating position, put our bales on, get those last couple, there we go. And like I say, remember, if you do want to unload them in inverted commas properly, you need to unload bales, unload here, which puts them onto the trailer. You can tension and strap them to drive them around wherever you want to go, and then, like I say, pick and choose the way you want to unload them. So it will give you both options, but I like that. That's a very cool trailer. Nice. I spent way too long on that. That's the Lizard Gooseneck Haymaster. Next we got the Piaggio Arpe. I always say Arpe. Piaggio Ape Plus. This is 5.55 megabytes download, 9 slots by Just Farming. Now we've got the base game version. We come up to here, come to cars and bikes, just there. 3 horsepower, 23 miles an hour. We've got option for main colour, and that's it. That's how it comes. Nice. This version here, now it doesn't go any faster. It's still 23 miles an hour, still 3 horsepower. I think we had a modded one a while back that did, it was a ludicrous speed anyway, but I'm sure we did. Or did I dream it? So, standard extension, that's how it normally comes. There's no capacity to that, but you can fold the sides down and it's all very cool. You can have tipper version, which gives you a 1,600 litre tipper, which actually has a capacity on it, which is quite handy. And it puts the Piaggio on the side, as you can see there. Or a flatbed, which I went for, which just made life a little bit easier, to be honest with you. You have trailer hitch, yes or no, which is a nice feature as well for pulling a small trailer. Don't try and pull a big trailer. That would be ludicrous. Main colour, anything on that palette. Interior colour, you see the panels on the inside. Let's go pink, so it stand out. There you go. On the inside, those are our options. So, come out of there. I'll say tension straps. Cool. Now, start the engine. Horn. Lights. That's all very straightforward, but we have got options here. L1 and right stick side to side. Why are we not working? Oh, I was going to say, no planned size contact with MrSealyp. There we go. L1 right stick up and down. L1 right stick side to side. There we go. Does our doors. Handy. Right. Let's close those. R1 and right stick side to side. Let's go inside for this. R1 and right stick side to side. Does that window. Pulls that in. Close that latch. R1 right stick up and down. Does that one. Then L1 R1. Right stick side to side. Does that wing mirror. Right stick up and down. Does that wing mirror. L1 R1 and left stick. Does our visor. There you go. Like I say, it goes the same speed, but it just has some extra functions on it. Nice! The Piaggio Ape Plus, which brings us to the last of the mods for today. There is a new map out called Star Valley by Truck69. I will get onto that tomorrow morning now, probably, possibly. Yes. But the last of our mods for today is this. Or this is representative of, let's say that. This is the Rotner Forwarder Pack by HR Forst und Verzeugbau. 53.13 megabytes download, 23 slots and 22 slots. That's the base game version. I just want to double check something because I thought I was going insane, which isn't unusual. But let's go to our forestry equipment down here. And forwarders. So there's our base game Rotner F20D. So there's the modded version of the F20D, and that says Wide Load XL. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So when I did some of the functions on it, I thought, oh, okay, so that's obviously different to the base game one. It looks to be the same. There's some extra options, don't get me wrong. But as far as the wide load thing, the base game one does the same. So, options on this. Back design, we've got attacher or traction winch. That's very handy for forestry, but if you want to put a trailer, you might want to have the trailer. But that's our options on that, traction winch or attacher. Then engine setup, we've got 278 horsepower or 365. Those are the two options on that. We've then got knock-in, BKT, Trelleborg, Michelin, Ollis 4s. Now again, I've said this before with the Ollis 4s, if I go back that way, there are a load of different ones from chains to tracks on the back, then tracks and chains on the front, then chains and chains, tracks and tracks. There's a whole load, Pro Grip, Eco Tracks, Evo, Baltic, EX, Kovacs, Magnum, there's a ton. So we can go for all those. The other ones, there are some extra options for tyre treads and choices. I'm sure you'll find something to suit your requirements. There we go. Chainsaw on the grapple. Now this is an interesting thing, and I haven't used it yet. So that is a forwarder, so it's got a grapple. You can put a chainsaw on there, which actually then makes it a tree harvester, kind of. Colour design, old or new. Then we got windows, standard, tinted 1, tinted 2, back to standard. Outdoor mirrors, so the mirrors that stick out a long way. If you don't want those, you might catch them on trees. You can take those off if you don't want those on there. That's up to you. Exhaust guard, yes or no, on the side there. If you saw that change, there we go. We've got hood protection. We've got yes with extinguishers, or no. I went yes with extinguishers. Log leveler, yes or no. I didn't put that on, but you have got an option for log leveler. Then we go all the colour options. So main colour does that. Bunk colour does the tips of the bunks. Let's change those to red. There we go. Claw colour changes the claw in there. Log leveler colour, if you've gone for a log leveler, let's go blue. There you go, so it stands out a little bit. Ollisfor's colour, if you've gone for those, you can pick and choose those. Rim colour and license plate option on there too. Now, the other one that's in this pack is this one here. I didn't get one of these out. This is the clam bunk. This basically is a skidder, but in forwarder form. So, has a clam bunk on the back, so this is for pulling out bigger trees, logs, whole trees, that kind of thing. But it has the crane attachment on it as well, which makes life a little bit easier for operation. But it is in essence the same vehicle. This one we've got 278 and 365 horsepower, and all the other options are exactly the same with regard to colour design, tyre choices, windows, mirrors, exhaust grid, hood protection, log leveler. All the various different colours are exactly the same. Difference is this one has the log bunk on the back. Does have a winch on it. This one doesn't have the option for winch or trailer attacher. This is just as it comes. Yes. Yeah, right, so let's hop in this and start it up. So, lights, horn, all very lovely. We have got changed driving direction. I'm facing the other way at the moment, so we can change our driving direction. Like so. Lovely. So at the moment we're on control group, crane and leveler. If I had the leveler on the front, we'd have the option to raise and lower that. But we've got our crane option. Again, I say this on mod reviews all the time now. The cranes, if you watch any mod reviews regarding any sort of crane at all, these work the same as any of the cranes. So we've got up, down, left and right. Then we've got up and we've got in and out. And then L1, R1, we've got a rotation of our head and open and close of the head for the crane itself. But I went for the one that's got the saw, because I thought, why not? What's that all about? So let's see if we can. Not that's going to necessarily work, because you know me and these sorts of mods. Let's grab that like that. Now it says L1 saw activate. So if I turn that on, that's now ready to run. And then it says lower pickup, so L1 and circle. So in essence it is a tree harvester. I mean, if your logs are too long and you've decided, so having that chainsaw attached on there, that's very cool. I'm going to turn it off again. So you turn it on and then lift pickup and do that, activates the saw. If I turn it off, I can still lift pickup, but it won't saw. It doesn't make the saw sound, but you need that turned on if you're going to. Then we've got, what else have we got on here? Okay, so bunk. So we've got extend bunk, does that. Then R1, so L1, R1. No, that's still on that. Oh, I need to change it. Change it to bunk and traction winch. So bunk, R1 and right stick up and down, raises that whole lot up. So the bunk becomes really wide and nice and tall for getting a whole load of logs in there. I don't think we can extend it any further out of the back, but the traction winch, whoa, there you go, for either winching logs closer to it or attaching yourself to something if you're on a hillside, which is kind of, I suppose, what it's supposed to be for. So if you're going down a steep slope, you can attach the winch, but you can drag stuff to this as well, and you can operate that either manually from outside or from inside the cab if you want to as well. So I was thinking, okay, well this is obviously then, this is super duper XL, whiz bangy and all that kind of stuff. If I press triangle again, we come back to crane and leveler. So those are the two options on that. That was all that, wasn't it? Yeah. So I thought, well, if I grab the base game one out then, because I was curious to see how much bigger it is. The fact it specifies XL. So this one is extended already. So this is the base game. There's not all the extra fancy stuff. But L1, R1, R1, where are we? I've lost it. Fold forwarder. There we go. Does that. Which is what the other one looked like. So I thought, okay, well, obviously the other one's much bigger then. So let's unfold the forwarder. So rather than the other one where it does it in different motions, this one is all in one go. I mean, it could be down to tyre choice. We're a tiny little bit lower, but then the whole frame is a little bit lower. But as far as width goes and height goes, it seems to be exactly the same. I can't see any difference. Again, unless I'm missing something glaringly obvious, but I do like all the extra features. That saw on there is brilliant. That's very, very cool feature. I like the fact we've got a winch option on there as well. That's very cool. And obviously then there's all the colour options and all the things you can do. HR Forsten Fahrzeugbau forestry equipment normally lends itself to a ton of customization options, which is all brilliant. And that's it for the mods for Wednesday the 6th of August. I hope you found all this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. I've just remembered I need to go and speed up time to see if we can get some of those Union Jack pallets out, or Union Flag pallets, should I say. Bear with me a moment. There we go, ladies and gents. There you go, tortillas on the packets. I have to say, I really do like that, the attention to detail. Crisps rather than potato chips, tortilla chips rather than corn chips, and having the different boxes as well. These aren't liftable, none of these are liftable, nor were the pickled items either, because these aren't standard base game pallets. We can see some of the other ones out as well. And the fact the boxes are different as well, it's not just a generic thing. Very cool indeed. There we go. So we did get some more out, and we did get the Union Flag on them as well. Even down to the tape on the boxes. Huh. Very, very cool. Ta-ta!